What's up, Dinez? Stay here. Tune in. Don't go nowhere. Who else in here? If you in here, wave so I know who I'm in here talking to. I got a few things to say, and I always say this, but I'm trying to keep it short. But I'm telling you, these people ain't paying attention. Oh man, there's a lot going on. Like today there's a lot going on. If you in here, wave at me, please, so I know who up in here, so we can talk about this. This is serious. You feel me? Serious. And I don't want to play with this subject. What's up, Dave? This is serious. Stay right here. Please do not log off. Just give me, I'm going to say 10 minutes of your time. Do not log off. That's how serious this is. All right, Dan, I see you. Justice in here. Joe Fox in here. I'm going to wave at everybody. Jamil Taylor in here. Please do not log off. This is really serious. Like, I'm not playing. Like, all right, Brother Law up in here. Please do not log off. This is so serious. I'm actually getting emotional thinking about it because when I see the article and I'm reading through it, I want to preface this first by saying that I am on the Library of Congress weekly, looking at what's on the floor, what's being presented, what's being passed, the status of it, and all that. But one thing that people need to know about when you do see current bills or whatever on the floor, if you are, and I can tell you right now, the average American is not going to congress.gov. What's up, Chantrell? Give me y'all time, man. Please, please, y'all ain't doing nothing. Please listen to me right now. Like, please. This is so serious, and I hope they don't disrupt my video. I hope they don't cut it off, but this is serious. Like, I'm going to give it about one more minute for people to come in. I'm going to start what I'm about to say. So anyways, back to the Library of Congress, right? I go there weekly, sometimes 2 to 3 times a week to see what's on the floor with these people passing or whatever. The interesting thing is when you got new stuff on the floor, especially when you're talking about, I see you, Centrell, Wanted Boo up in here. When you see some of the newer bills and stuff that are on the floor, or resolution, a lot of time they don't post the text. Like you can't actually see it, right? Because it's a couple thousand pages long or whatever, but they haven't posted it on the library, the online library yet. But you can see in real time what they actually have on the floor. LG, I see you, man. Please stay here. Fred, what's up? Please stay here. This is so important. And the people that are tuning in are my people back at home, back in Louisiana, which is cool. A few more people. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds for people to tune in, man. Like, for real. This is real serious. I am not playing about this. Y'all know I got a big mouth. But when I got this article this morning, my heart just sank. Like, everything in me just sank. Because I'm looking like, what? So, let me get up in here. What's up, Rob? I'm waving at everybody. And I'm drinking my tea this morning. What I'm about to talk about, this is not a laughing matter. This is not a serious matter. This is something that everybody, after I get off this video, get the hell off that Instagram, get the hell off that Snapchat, get the hell off of that TikTok, all that stuff, and use this time to go and research what the hell I'm about to tell y'all about, because it's going to affect every last one of us, rich, poor, whoever, right? Please stay here. Don't leave. All right. So let's get to this. So we got an article this morning. I got an article this morning I seen on social media from Forbes.com, The Nation. And it says the new coronavirus stimulus bill in Congress create U.S. digital dollar. Now I'm reading that headline and I'm sure there's going to be more that's going to come out, right? There's going to be more that's going to come out. I'm reading that headline because that's the first one I got. Now, I can tell you right now, you guys can comment right here, but I can tell you right now that the people that probably seen this article this morning, I'm sure it came up on thousands of people's timeline. And all they did was scroll through it, went back and forth from their Facebook to their Instagram, looking at pictures, checking pictures or whatever. Many people scroll through this, right? Now, let's preface this of what's been going on the past few weeks. The whole world been shut down. People not working no more. People need assistance to take care of their families. So who steps in, right? Big government steps in, say, hey, look, we're going to give y'all a stimulus package. Now, if you notice, the Republicans were kind of out front with the stimulus package thing, right, in the past few days. And all of a sudden, they say, well, look, the Republicans voted against the stimulus package. And all of a sudden, the Democrats want to structure this bill, the stimulus bill, into their own vision, whatever that means. We can speculate. Now, if you haven't noticed in the news the past few days when it comes to the stimulus bill, especially look at social media and how the Republicans were vilified for their opposing vote to, look at how the Democrats were vilified for their opposing vote to the Republican bill, right? These people just pulled the biggest fucking okie doke on the entire human race in America. And we didn't even see it coming because we're on social media. We're going back and forth. Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrats. So let me read you this bill. I'm going to read you a couple of things in this article that highlights what this bill is talking about. So the bill establishes a digital dollar. Now, people say, well, it's a digital world. What does it have to do with anything? It's defined as a balance expressed as a dollar value consisting of a digital ledger, entries that are recorded as liabilities in accounts of any Federal Reserve Bank, or an electronic unit of value redeemable by an eligible financial institution. Now, this is where you got to make sure you're paying attention, right? This digital dollar, right? Digital ledger, dollar value consisting of digital ledger and electronic value. It's redeemable by an eligible financial institution. Here's the kicker. As determined by the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. Now, a lot of people in here like, what the hell is he talking about? What does that mean? Y'all can admit it, and that's okay because I know most of the people do not understand what that means. Let me read it again. That bill that everybody talking about, the Democrats, this or that, the Republican, that bill establishes what is a digital dollar, right? That's redeemable, right? All its liabilities and accounts of any Federal Reserve Bank. See, some of y'all don't know shit about the Federal Reserve System or the bank. That's why I always tell people, the people that call me crazy and always saying that I don't know what I'm talking about and this, that, and the other, and I'm just a conspiracy theorist, I always direct them to start their research in how the federal bank started. The Federal Reserve Bank is not federal at all. It's privately owned entities. So when you got this digital dollar, right? This digital dollar that accounts for any Federal Reserve Bank or electronic unit of value is redeemable by any financial institution as determined by the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. Do you understand that the president is not involved in that? Your Congress is not involved in that. The Senate is not is not part of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So these financial institutions that's going to have these digital dollars and these digital wallets, they're only determined by the governors. These elite, the people that actually run the banking system, the central banking system, those are the people, right? Those are the people that are going to determine which financial institution that's going to have these digital wallets. So that's the first part of this, right? And if you don't believe what I'm talking about, you need to go do your research on the Federal Reserve banking system. It's not federal. Did you know that the Federal Reserve cannot even be audited by the President of the United States or the Senate? Did y'all know that? So this is a whole different entity that y'all don't know nothing about, that's creating and causing all this stuff. This is why I believe the C virus is real, but it's orchestrated to get to this point what you're about to talk about. So additionally, let me get to now. The mandate also requires all member banks establish a pass-through digital dollar wallet to all customers eligible for the stimulus. Oh my God. Now, without giving y'all too much, because I don't want to feed you everything, it's up to us to kind of educate ourselves. A mandate that also requires all member banks, and it's in quotation, establish a pass-through digital dollar wallet, which is also in quotations, to all customers. Now, when you hear member banks, What do you think they're talking about? They're not talking about your regular credit union over here, whatever. They're talking about the member banks that belong to the central banking system that is controlled and ran by the Federal Reserve System, right? That's what they're talking about. They're not, see, people don't understand how, sometimes it's like, I don't think we as Americans really know how to read. It's just really, we don't want to read. But they put both of these things, they put members banks and pass-through digital dollar wallet, right? They put this in quotation marks. Now, I'm gonna give you a piece. I'm gonna give you a gem, and I want y'all to go and research it. One is all members banks that belongs to the Federal Reserve System as a whole. Secondly, pass through. I want y'all to write this down. Pass-through. Write that down, and I want you guys to Google it. Put pass through. And then figure out whatever comes later. And I want y'all to research that. But this says pass through digital wallet to all customers eligible for the stimulus. Now, it tells you right here, member banks include those banks that are members of the Federal Reserve and regulated by the Fed. Who do you think that is? That's not President Trump. That's not the Senate. That's not the House. That's not the people. That's not any of us. This is a whole different entity. If you don't believe me, go do the fucking research for yourself. All right? Go do the research for yourself. Now, the next thing is, it says, additionally, non-member state banks, those that are not members of the Federal Reserve, but they're regulated by the FDIC, could opt in to offer pass-through dollar wallets as well. See, y'all got to understand what that means. These people are tightening the vice more and more. Everybody that's out there creating their militias and looking for the government to come and bring in the military and pull us out our houses and all this tyranny, they don't need to do that anymore, because look what they're doing right now. I'm going to share something with y'all. Remember I mentioned this book right here? The Crash of 2016. There's so much information in here. This is historical. This is not somebody's like great opinion. This is historical facts on our financial system. And it will tell you, I'm talking about decades and decades of financial history that we don't understand because we always forget. I mean, hell, just go back to 2008. How quickly we forgot about that. What was it, 12 years ago or whatever? So you got a system. Now I'm gonna show you how they done okey-doked us, because we got people, we all in social media, we picking red, we picking blue, like we Bloods and Crips and shit, right? And we got Republican, Democrats, and this and that. They just play good cop, bad cop on everybody, and nobody is paying attention, because the reason why I think it's orchestrated, because now you done shut down the whole world, let alone the whole country. People can't work. We're going to have to, if it gets that dire, people are going to have to take them stimulus package. But guess what? It's going to be digital dollars, digital wallet, right? Regulated by the Federal Reserve, which, by the way, and I'm going to mention for the fourth time, the President of the United States, the Senate, the House, nobody can audit the Federal Reserve. So you got to ask yourself, who are the governors of these boards? What are they connected to? So what's ended up happening is, even when they give these non-member banks an option to opt in, they're closing the vice. It's either you with us or you ain't. So they're going to create a system where they can plug and play, cross-sell products under this digital dollar wallet. I'm not going to say too much more. But I'm telling y'all, get off Instagram, get off that TikTok, get off all that stuff. Do the research, what I'm telling you right now. This bill that they are trying to pass, this is two heads on the same snake. You feel me? This is two heads on the same snake. We have forgot so much. Our financial system. If you think about it, if you say, well, okay, if you can inject all this money, all these trillions of dollars just out of thin air, right? That's the number one thing that tells you that, hey, our financial system is not held up on what you think it's held up on. It ain't shit. It's a matrix. Now, I sound crazy to some people because they don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? They don't know what I'm talking about. So when I say some things like, y'all better listen, I call it the mark of the beast, honestly. But here's the thing. I know I like to talk a lot, but I'm breaking this article down piece by piece, so people can understand a little bit about why this is important and why, whether you see Nancy Pelosi or Donald Trump on TV, it's the same snake, just two different heads. These people don't have to pull us out of a housing mix of slaves and put us in concentration camps anymore. They don't have to do that. These governors of these boards of the feds and everybody that's connected to the feds and everybody that operates with the feds, let me tell you something. They own our government. They own them. This is not a secret. And if you do the proper research, they don't even hide it anymore. You feel me? They don't even hide this stuff anymore. That's why I'm on here like I'm being serious. Y'all think I'd be crazy. Y'all think I'm playing. And maybe they're going to take this video down, but I ain't mentioned too much stuff. But as I've said, I wish I could go through and search my profile to find some of the videos I've said and posts where I'm like, yo, if y'all want to know what's going on, start your research at the Federal Reserve Bank and system and how this was created and what is our financial system actually built on. The dollar, the actual paper dollar, is toilet paper. All this digital stuff, it's just a big matrix. It's like that bubble, and eventually it's going to implode on itself again. But if you notice, we're always inserting this money that don't even exist. So now they come out and tell us in this article / what's going on with this bill, they come out and tell us right now what they're doing. There's no secret anymore. But this is where they got us at. They've put us in circumstances. Trust me, if everybody still had their jobs right now and everybody was working and taking care of their families appropriately, nobody would even question this. It wouldn't even dawn on them about these bills and these laws that are passing regarding stimulus. They was like, well, I don't need a stimulus package. I got my job. But the fact that the vice has been tightened so much, now people are going to need money. And guess what? In order to get that stimulus package, you're going to have to follow these rules. The rules of the Federal Reserve System. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying, man. We all going to be there. This is why I don't, the coronavirus is real. I believe it's a real virus. But when you want to crash the system or you want to gain more control of people, you want to instill fear in people, where they're going to have to be like, yo, give me the check, give me this, give me that. And you're going to do it under a certain set of rules. Hell, the Republicans have been trying to change the tax code for a long time, right? So there's some things I'm going to leave you with here. And I think I mentioned them. I want y'all, the first one is Federal Reserve System, Bank, Federal Reserve System and Bank. I want y'all to research all the banks that are considered members of the Federal Reserve System. That's your first homework. All right, I don't want you sitting at home looking at Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that all day. Go research what are all the member banks that belong to the Federal Reserve, because I guarantee you, many of us got banks that don't belong to the Federal Reserve. So I'm gonna tell you how they monopolize and how they pushing people in, and they basically pushing banks out, right? And it's gonna force to even sell and get certain products to these customers, these state-run banks. They're gonna have to force these banks into their system if they want to serve their clientele. If they want to give them the services, the products that they're going to need to sustain and get through this whole economical thing and continue on. Mark my word. You right. As soon as they cash them checks, they're going to be regulated by the government. Not, you know what? They ain't going to be regulated by the government. They're going to be regulated by the Federal Reserve System. You feel me? So Federal Reserve System and Federal Reserve Bank, write that down. And I want y'all to go research what banks are members of the Federal Reserve System. Secondly, remember them two words I said, pass through? And I mean PASS dash through, the word through, like not THRU, the stuff y'all be putting on social media, THROUGH or whatever. I'm putting that in quotation marks. Okay? Pass through. Pass through. And whatever comes after pass through, when you start to Google it, I want you to go. I want you to research that. Because people don't understand what's happening. The Democrats and the Republicans just pull an okie doke, or they will pull an okie doke on everybody. But guess what? We either can resist that, but the way things are right now, when you got 2, 3, 4 kids at home that need to eat, you ain't working, guess what? You're going to get that check. So they back right now with a big fat Federal Reserve ding-a-ling in their mouth. And they know they can control us. They know it. It's not even a secret. They know they can control us. And all this stuff, us arguing and ranting on social media between Democrat, Republicans, Trump against Trump, who's for Trump, CNN, Fox News, they are taking all that information and they're data mining it. You think that shit just lives out there and nothing happens? They're literally data mining this stuff, right? This is not free money, like my man Joe said. This is not free money. We are about to pay a generational cost for this. A generational cost. Not let me get this money, because everybody want that fast money. But let me tell you, we about to pay a generational cost for this. All right? A generational cost. Like, if you got kids, understand that their generations, the generation of your kids and below, they got devices. We all got devices. But how they're data mining, how they're controlling us through devices, through artificial intelligence, all this stuff is to get to this point. If you take 2020, go back 5 years, see what's happening. Go back another 5, go back 10 years, see what's happening. Go back 15, go back 20 years. And you start lining up all these trends. And you start lining up all these things that are happening. You know what I mean? All these things that are happening. Like, man, how can I say this, man? None of this is a coincidence. So that's why I don't fear them. I don't fear the system. Because if the system gonna bust and break down, it's gonna bust and break down, and we're gonna all be in pandemonium and hurt. That's what's gonna happen. But the real question is, how do we fight against this, right? How do we fight against this? Well, the first way is this. Probably one of the best ways, in my opinion, is you have to come together as communities and as families. Stop being so damn independent. So if you have a big family, y'all need to get together. Y'all need to talk about planning. Y'all need to spend the money that y'all have together to make sure y'all prepared when the time comes. If you need to be sheltered in place, hunkered down, whatever, or even if it's just getting food, come together as families. Come together as communities. Stop hating each other. Stop being so damn independent, like this is mine, this is yours. Because at the top, underneath all this, you got that big Federal Reserve System umbrella just hanging. It's like a dark cloud that's hanging over this country, over this world, because it's all interconnected internationally. And here we are down here hating each other because you a Democrat and you a Republican. That is what they want us to think. They want us to think that. All the way down to the most municipal level of city and town government, they want you to be divided because it's just a virus. The real virus is not the coronavirus, it's the corporate virus. And people don't understand. So I'm encouraging everybody. I'm gonna keep this video. I hope people watch it. And I hope they do the research that I'm asking them to do. If you can, I would tell you to get a copy of this book. This is an economist. His name is Thom Hartmann. He has done an amazing job giving resources, facts, actual trends and data that has happened since the 1800s of our financial institutions. So everybody, when we go to grab that money, get that check, understand they're creating a digital dollar. And for those who don't know, our real dollar is not even backed up by any kind of gold standard. You ain't got to believe me. Do the research yourself. Federal Reserve System and the bank. I want you to research who are the members of those banks, or who are the member banks of the Federal Reserve, like who's in the good old boy club. Research that, and I want you to research pass through, whether it be taxation, legislation, whatever. I want you to research it. Get together with your family. Stop being divided. We all got different interests in the way we live, in the way we worship, even in the way we take shit sometimes. We all got different ways we live our lives. But generationally, your kids is about to suffer from what's about to happen. And that's why I don't believe that all this is just a coincidence. They need you to be in a dire situation where you're not at work and you can't take care of your family, so we can go and grab these checks. So now we in a different they create a whole different infrastructure of banking and control. They didn't have to come in and take our guns. They didn't have to come in and put us in concentration camps. We asked for it because the Democrats are better than the Republicans, and the Republicans are better than the Democrats. And yeah, hail Trump 2020, and fuck Pelosi, or yeah, Pelosi, or yay Biden. But these people are all on the same team. They're on the same team. So I'm saying this, it saddens me. Actually pretty heartbreaking that the average American does not know how to read. And the average American does not give a damn about what is going on. They just don't care. All you got to do is read. They want you to read between the lines when they are writing completely outside of them. I'm going to leave y'all with that. So hopefully y'all come together as a community and families and all that stuff, because your kids, us, your kids, everybody after us is about to suffer under a new banking infrastructure that is so layered and so powerful that y'all ain't even gonna understand. Leave your comments below. Let's talk about this. I gotta go.